Hello, these are Red Wing Beckman boots, sometimes called gentleman travelers. They're the black 9014s. I'll start with a short overview of these boots, cover pros and cons, and finish with some care tips. Let's get started. The uppers are Red Wing's Featherstone leathers. These are fully finished leathers and lighter in weight than oil tanned. They can be polished to a shine. The white thread of the rapid stitch outsole is prominent. As you know, this boot is Goodyear welted, so it can be resoled indefinitely. The 2-layer stacked midsole is nice to look at and adds class. Red Wing's signature triple stitching, which is performed using machines over 100 years old, can be found at the Vamp. All of the threads are waxed. The stitching is bomb-proof. These boots are tanks. The outsole comes in two parts. The rubber forefoot is the classic stars and bars made by Vibram. The middle of the outsole is exposed leather and the heel is oil-resistant rubber. The half-sole forefoot is stitched to the midsole, and in my pair you'll see some of the stitching has worn away from use. There's no danger of the rubber piece delaminating from the midsole because of the lock stitch technique, which fastens everything from behind the outsole. Strong glue helps hold it all together. These boots have calfskin lining, a rigid heel cup, a leather insole, and crushed cork at the midsole. This is how the cork is applied during assembly. The cork and the leather insole mold to your foot shape over time. There's a steel shank, the laces are waxed cotton, and the eyelets are brass and finished in black. The tongue is fully gusseted and extremely soft. Because it comes up so high, getting these boots on and off is slow. However, the tongue is designed to keep water and debris away from your feet. So let's start with the bad. For a boot that retails for $350, there are two things that I think could use improvement. The leather trim at the cuff has a tendency to get caught on laces when you're putting the boot on. On my pair, the trim is coming apart on one side. The way it ends, right where there's a lot of pulling of laces, leaves this piece exposed to wear and tear. This is one aspect of the boot that I think deserves a second look. Quality control from pair to pair can be extremely variable. From missed stitches to differences in leather from boot to boot, it's a good idea to inspect your pair closely when you purchase it. On the flip side, I think these little defects are in keeping with the handmade style of these boots. If you think about all the people who work on these during production, the leather cutters, the stitchers, to the people who assemble the lasts and the outsoles and the finishers, the end product is really pretty impressive. It's American made with plenty of heritage, a special investment, and it'll last you a really long time. I guess what I'm trying to say is, some people get really angry that boots at a certain level even leave the factory with defects. I see this more as part of the process. Once you've decided you want these boots, all you have to do is buy them from a place with a good exchange policy, or better yet, from a store, so you can be sure the pair you end up with is perfect. Alright, these boots have many great qualities, which is why they have so many fans. There are many nice boots in this class, but the Beckmans continue to be relevant. So what are my favorite things about them? The leather is extremely tough and fully finished. If you want to polish these to a shine, you can. The stitching is awesome and the white thread adds understated class. The leather insole is a throwback to the old days. It's really durable, absorbs moisture, keeping your feet dry, and when combined with the crushed cork underlay, molds to your foot. The insole and cork work together and form a sort of low-tech but bomb-proof memory foam. The rubber half sole and heel piece are really practical. Some people like bare leather outsoles, but I don't understand the appeal. I like to wear my shoes in all conditions without fear of damaging them or slipping and falling to my death. The clean, classic shape of the Beckmans is timeless. Some people really dislike the bump at the toe, but I think it's overstated. The shape of the toe balances out the rest of the boot, which is rugged, but not too rugged, and the perfect balance of usability, toughness, and refinement. These boots use Red Wing's number 8 last, which is also used in the Iron Rangers. It's a last that I would call regular, so if you are a D width, you may find some tightness in the forefoot. However, the upper will stretch and conform in width. They won't stretch in length from front to back, so make sure you've got that part sized properly. Red Wing's Featherstone leather starts out stiff because it lacks the immediate softness of oil tan leather. This is one of the things that give these boots a natural sheen and which gives them structure. While I never found these shoes uncomfortable in the beginning, it did take 2 to 3 days of continuous wear before I felt like they were starting to break in and mold to my feet. Everyone has their own method for leather shoe care. Mine are simple. I start by brushing dust and debris off the shoes using a clean, damp rag if necessary to remove stains. Once clean, I use my fingers to apply Bic 4 to the uppers and any exposed leather areas like the midsole and outsole. Bic 4 is a medium weight cream that conditions, cleans, and offers a light weather barrier. Doesn't contain animal fats or wax, so it won't darken leather as dramatically as some products, and it lets leather breathe. I leave the Bic 4 on to penetrate overnight and then buff off any excess the next day. I live in Northern California and our environment is pretty mild. If I lived somewhere where there were actual seasons, I would probably use something more aggressive. For now, I think less is more, so I generally don't use thick oils or heavy stuff like Obenaufs. I just try to do regular maintenance and brush the boots off after every use. Alright, well that brings this video to a close. If you have any questions about Red Wing Beckmans, more information to add, or thoughts about this video, please leave them in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe. I'll be doing more of these videos in the very near future. Thanks for watching and see you soon!